Hi, you're listening to a replay of my French and Language Fun show on Expat Radio. My name is Maude. I'm a language teacher in Geneva, Switzerland, and you can find me on ohyes.ch.
Well, we got our superstar language teacher this morning.
Bonjour, bonjour. Comment va tout le monde? Ouais, alors, bonjour tout le monde. This is just how we say, hi everybody. And it's great because you don't need to worry about, gender. Because if you go and say, bonjour à tous, bonjour à toutes, that's hello all, then you have to make the differentiation. Hein? Bonjour à tous, bonjour à toutes. We say bonjour à toutes et bonjour à tous. In the end, it's kind of a mouthful, huh? You see what I mean?
Yeah, well, I just say bonjour à tous.
It's not even a question of being politically correct. Well, yeah, with your friends. I mean, you're not going to go and say, bonjour à tous, bonjour à tous. If I walked into a bar.
Bonjour tout le monde, c'est moi, Maude. And there'd be a brigade behind you with trumpets playing and, right, get the drinks in.
Alors, David, tu es plutôt rouge? Tu aimes le rouge ou le blanc?
Le blanc.
C'est vrai?
Oui.
Ah non, alors, je suis pas d'accord. Je ne suis pas d'accord. Je suis pas d'accord. Là, moi, j'aime bien le rouge. Je préfère le rouge.
It gives me a headache.
We really digressed and ended up talking about how things can be expensive. So here's an idiom, but remember it's slang. Now, good slang, but slang nonetheless.
In French, we say it would have cost la peau des fesses.
Is it?
La peau des fesses.
Something of your bum? What was that?
The skin off your bum.
Oh, right.
Ça coûte la peau des fesses.
Well, should we play a song and then should we get into the languages today? Got some French music for you today.
Ok, super. Alors, on écoute.
So, Kenji Girac.
D'accord.
And this is Pour Oublier. Right, we're back with Maude this morning.
Hello, hello. Salut, bonjour tout le monde. Il y avait des mots intéressants, des paroles intéressantes dans la chanson, n'est-ce pas?
Yeah.
Ah, ok. So, pour oublier. The title, pour oublier.
For forgetting.
Excuse me, I didn't quite...
Yes, exactly. For forgetting. For forgetting.
To, just in order to. The pour in front of the verb means in order to.
Is it?
Well, 80% of the time. It's overly used, okay? But, pourquoi tu vas au supermarché? Why are you going to the supermarket? Pourquoi tu vas au supermarché? Pour acheter des tomates.
Why have you bought tomatoes when I didn't want a salad?
In order to buy tomatoes. Pour acheter des tomates. So the song means to forget. In order to forget. Did you make a joke that I didn't catch?
No.
Okay.
No, that was it. Would I do that? Never in a month of Sundays would I make a joke or be. This show is completely serious.
Okay. All right. Well, just go back to this pour again, just so that it's clear. For example, why do you use a computer? Pourquoi tu utilises un ordinateur? Pour travailler. In order to work. To work. Pour écrire des emails. Pour faire des recherches sur Internet. This is why I love, actually, my computer. Pour faire des recherches, to search. Donc, pour, meaning in order to. Oh. Alors, pour oublier, so the song is like, obviously, we have to forget something. So how are they going to do it? On ira faire la fête. On ira faire la fête. We'll go party. On ira faire la fête. So, faire la fête is a really common expression, meaning let's go party. No, let's go have fun.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. On ira faire la fête.
Write that one down. I'll use that quite a bit.
Allez, on va faire la fête. So this can be like a rallying cry, you're with your buddies or it's kind of quiet and you're like, hey, allez, on va faire la fête, on va danser. Or faire la fête could even be a barbecue where people are having a great time, On va faire la fête. We're going to have a good time, basically. We'll party. Pourquoi est-ce qu'ils vont faire la fête? Well, it rhymes. Pour se vider la tête. Pour se vider la tête.
For emptying your head.
That's right. So to clear your head, clear your mind. Pour se vider la tête. So if you want to clear your head, what's going to happen? C'est pour oublier, in order to forget. Alors, on ira faire la fête pour se vider la tête, pour oublier. But se vider la tête, again, is really common. Like if you've been working and just like, oh my God, I need a break. We call it se vider la tête. Hein? Je veux me vider la tête. Se vider la tête. But that there were two common expressions like that we hear so much. One of them is bien entendu. Bien entendu. Literally, that means I heard you well, or it has been heard well. But bien entendu means, of course, naturally. Bien entendu. And another one, ça va de soi. Donc, ça va, like, how are you? Then it changes. Ça va de soi. And de soi is S-O-I, meaning self. So it has nothing to do with the verb to be, because sometimes soi is a conjugation also of the verb to be. But anyway, ça va de soi, it goes without saying. So that's not intuitive at all. Ça va de soi. It goes without saying. More quickly, ça va de soi. It goes without saying. Ça va de soi. Because remember, you want to forget. So there's some things you got to do if you want to forget. Bien entendu. Of course. Hein? Bien entendu. Bien entendu. Pour oublier, to forget. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on va faire pour oublier? Well, ça va de soi, bien entendu. On ira faire la fête. Why? Pourquoi? Pour se vider la tête. And why? Pour se vider la tête. Why do we want to clear our heads? Pour oublier. Ah. Eh ben, c'est lundi. What an awful start to the day, huh?
No, what do you mean, what an awful start? This is quality French.
You chose a great song. Really
I've got
good
another one for
job.
you. I've got another for you.
Sounds good. Even in French-speaking countries outside of Europe, the Middle East or Africa, in the 80s, is like, Vanessa Paradis. Everyone knows her.
Yeah.
But if we look at Jo le taxi, alors qu'il connaît toutes les rues par cœur. So what is this? What does he know about the streets? Hein? Il les connaît par cœur.
No idea, because I've never really, I've not thought into the words of the song. You what you
Well,
were.
you don't have to. This taxi driver and how he knows, he connaît toutes les rues par cœur. He knows the streets by heart. Hein? Connaître par cœur, a very useful expression to know by heart. Which makes me think of today. I was going to talk about la rentrée scolaire, back to school, and where you have to apprendre par cœur sometimes to learn by heart, but you can also know by heart. Connaître par cœur means that's something you love, a place you love. Il connaît tous les petits bars, tous les coins noirs. Anyway, he basically knows all of Paris. Et la Seine, the Seine River, et ces ponts qui brillent, and the shiny bridges. But anyway, so connaître par cœur is a really good expression. C'est sa vie, il est comme ça. It's so poetic. Alors, c'est sa vie, il est comme ça. That's his life, he's like that. I mean, does that sound amazing in English? But in French, there's just this Lovely simplicity, and there's a consensus. C'est sa vie. That's how he's made his life. Il est comme ça. That's just the way he is. Well, c'est sa vie, il est comme ça. And of course, with her angelic voice, know that, he can't be a bad bloke, although he's a tough bloke, if I do recall the movie. Where is he? Il est dans sa caisse. Now, this is a slang, which we use a lot. Dans sa caisse. You know
The
what?
checkout.
Huh?
In the checkout.
I love your feedback, Dave. It's just brilliant. You're right. La caisse. This is where you go to check out. And why? Because there's the cashiers, right? And what is in front of the cashiers? La caisse. C'est la caisse enregistreuse. It's a box basically that collects money, right? So une caisse is a big box, like for transport, like where you would une caisse de vin. If you buy a whole bunch of bottles and they're put in these plastic sort of, boxes, that would be une caisse de vin. So, in case you haven't gotten it, dans sa caisse is in his car, because a car is like a box.
Ah. Right. So what there's a sentence in the song where she says vas-y fonce.
Right. I'm getting to that one. That's very good. First, I've got embouteillage. An embouteillage. You know what that is?
No.
Oh gosh, I would blank. Traffic. When there's tons of traffic jam.
Right.
Embouteillage. Well, bottleneck. Embouteillage. You have the word bouteille in there. Vas-y is to go. It's just, vas-y, go. Vas-y, fonce is put the pedal on the metal. Go fast. Foncer is to charge, go forward. So vas-y, fonce. Go now. We use this a lot in sport as well, Vas-y, fonce. Cours. Là-bas. Tourne. Fonce. And it's a good quality. If you're a fonceur, you're somebody who really goes for it. Un fonceur, une fonceuse.
I'm writing this down.
Great expressions. Eh oui, c'est sa vie, il est comme ça. C'est ta vie, tu es comme ça. Vas-y, fonce. Yeah, go for it, man. Girl, woman.
Right. Well, that's one thing. When she says vas-y fonce, for years I've wondered what the hell it meant.
Right, because foncé, when you think of like the colors, rouge foncé, brun foncé, bleu foncé, vert foncé, it means dark.
Yeah.
Foncer means to charge, go forward as a verb. It also means to darken. But in this context, it's really, go for it. Et un fonceur, une fonceuse. Dave, est-ce que tu es un fonceur?
Yes.
I thought so, yeah. Moi aussi, je suis assez fonceuse, ça dépend. Mais quand je fonce. Tac. J'adore.
Okay, now the subject has come back to the fournitures scolaires.
Do you know what les fournitures are?
Hold on a minute. Ants.
What?
No,
Ants?
Joking. Thought it was for me.
Les fourmis? No. Les fournitures. It sounds a lot.
I'll remember in a minute. I know it, but I can't remember it. Go on. What is it?
Okay, it sounds a lot like furniture, but those are false friends. Alert, red alert. Fourniture is not furniture, it's supplies. Les fournitures scolaires.
Right, that was it.
Like furnish. You furnish something, to somebody.
You get a letter from the school, don't you, saying, this is what your kids will need for the following year.
So fournir is to supply, to furnish. If somebody says fournir, you're in a business context, you might understand. You'll say, "Oh, furnish," okay, or if you read it. But all of a sudden, when you see the noun that's made from the verb fournir, and you see fourniture, you have to make the jump. But it's supplies as opposed to furniture. That one always cracks me up. Les fournitures scolaires. Right. What you were saying is actually you get a list of what to buy. So in Switzerland, we also get a list, but a lot of les fournitures de base are supplied. Kids don't need to get, for example, pens, pencils, coloring pencils, erasers, a ruler. The basic supplies are, and the cahiers, the notebooks, those are supplied by all public schools. Yeah?
Well, shall we play a song? Flares on my stilettos this morning. Stiletto flip-flops.
Stiletto flip-flops?
Yeah, have you not seen them?
Non, heureusement, pas encore.
High heel flip-flops.
Non, alors je ne les ai pas encore vus. Or je n'en ai pas encore vu. And if I say it fast, non, je n'en ai pas encore vu.
Quality.
Je n'en ai pas encore vu, which means I haven't seen them in general, or je ne les ai pas encore vus. You're thinking more about the shoe itself. It's more specific. Je ne les ai pas encore vus. Je les ai pas encore vus. But we don't have places to wear high heel flip-flops. À Genève, I would say. Although they did make recently une petite plage. Huh? They've actually made a little beach right on the Lac Léman, and it looks great.
Have they?
Anyway.
A beach on it? They've made a beach down where you live on the lake.
Yeah, I mean it's real small, but it looks really nice. Actually, the city of Geneva does a lot of great stuff for anything that's ecological. There's a little reserve right by it with different kinds of ducks, and the way they've built it, it looks very natural. And
so you can shoot the ducks as well.
Nope. You'll be strung up. No, and these aren't the beautiful fat duck that you might encounter if you're a hunter somewhere far away from here. Thank you. No, c'est vrai, la chasse, hein? La chasse is quite popular in France. I know it happens in Switzerland as well, but people are really discreet.
How can you be discreet about being a hunter? You can't be discreet walking around with a double-barreled shotgun and a load of green clothing on, can you?
I mean, in Switzerland, it's kind of funny. You all of a sudden get a call from a restaurant you often go to, and they'll be like, "Ah, la chasse est arrivée," because they know some hunters and somebody's just shot down a duck, and they'll know which chef to sell the duck to. A lot of the hunters sell to restaurants. Then you know, okay, la chasse est ouverte. It's when hunting season begins. Did eat rabbit when we were kids. You still had the pellets, or in the flesh, you know.
Oh my god!
So you knew it was la chasse.
You didn't know. You weren't looking out for bones in fish. You were looking out for pellets in the rabbit.
Un plomb, oops. And I love rabbits. I mean, as pets. Quelle horreur. Here we are. La rentrée scolaire et les fournitures. So, do you know what une trousse is?
No, not a clue.
All right. Well, une trousse is a pencil case.
All right.
And just for, anecdotes sake, si on se fait détrousser means that a thief steals everything from you. So a trousse is something you put stuff in, like a little bag or a little something. But here, in this case, une trousse à l'école is a pencil case. If you're a doctor, you would have une trousse médicale. What do we put in? Qu'est-ce qu'on met dans la trousse?
Pens, pencil,
Wow.
tips, colouring pens.
Yeah.
Rubber. I'm trying to think what else got. Set square.
A what?
Set square.
The triangular thing to draw straight lines?
Yeah.
Dans la trousse, qu'est-ce qu'il y a dans la trousse? Dans la trousse, il y a un stylo ou des stylos. C'est quoi un stylo?
Pen.
Yeah. Do kids at your school still use plume or just regular stylo à billes?
Stylo à billes.
Okay. Yeah. Because the plume are the ink pens, like fountain pens. Yeah. We say une plume, like a feather, huh? Une plume. Same word. A bird has plume. Anyway, une plume, on écrit tellement bien avec. Enfin, l'écriture est si jolie avec la plume.
Yeah.
For some, for others, it's like your hands get turn blue. But anyway,
Well, next week are we going to go through different things that are regarding school for the kids going back?
that's right, that's right. But let's just fill real fast. La trousse. Tu as un stylo, des crayons de couleur, une gomme, eraser, des feutres, markers or felt tips, et un taille-crayon. That's emergency stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, so next week, let's do everything that has to do with going back to school, right? Enfin, très bien. Alors, c'était super. Merci. À la semaine prochaine et belle semaine à toutes et à tous. Hein? Ciao, ciao.
Thanks for listening to a shortened version of our radio show. You can find us Mondays at 11 a.m. on Expat Radio. And otherwise, why don't you reach out on LinkedIn or find me on my website, ohyes.ch. It's all about languages. Have a great week et à la semaine prochaine. Merci.
Merci, on se voit la semaine prochaine et n'oublie pas de me laisser un petit mot. Drop me a line, ask me a question, use the shared voice messaging link below, and see you next Monday. Allez, bonne semaine, ciao ciao.